Bills. Welcome back. Beautiful day here in Western New York. Rob Stone, Steve Tasker, Mike Callahan on the field with you. Kickoff tip, no 80s. So warm, I was notified that Steve Tasker would not go out onto the field. He did. That's correct. I stayed in the booth because it's too hot. It's too hot. You know, I've been doing this too long. Training camp's long and hard. But this is it's an exciting day. Those defenses are going to take the field first. Here's one toss to third. Minnesota decided to receive, and the Bills wanted to put the sunlight. So they're going to kick in the sun. What do you expect from the defense? It's a fundamental change. To go to a defensive line, some plays, for some reason, that front seven or 3-4 really speaks to them. Guys like Shaq Ross and really thrive in this. Jerry Hughes thrive in this 4-3 defense. And then others that kind of struggle with them. Lorenzo Alexander has never been successful in a 4-3 and a 4-3. And he has Reggie Ragland, the number 2 draft pick from a year ago. He's come off the moons, and he's struggled to acclimate to us. So there's a lot of guys that are really happy about this 4-3 defense, and some that are struggling to fit in. It's going to be very interesting to see how that affects this final roster when all is said and done. They've got to play the crowd and play this defense one way or another, and Sean McDermott and his team are ready to take the first step. Tonight for Shaq Ross and Yardley, one of the big stars of this training camp. You see that? Sideline almost impossible to tell who was supposed to be there. Who was the first guy there? They're coming from the inside. It's kind of hard to believe who's supposed to get out there that fast and cover that back. The pickup of 8 on 31, the first down now from the 37. And then a play action. They're going to roll out to his right, and just missed it. So, after that 61-yard punt, set to take the field for the first time tonight. We're back after this one real quick. Taylor and the Buffalo offense out on the field for the first time tonight. We talked to Coach McDermott about Taylor, and he said, look, I want our quarterbacks to get into an early rhythm and move the team to the I want to see how he rules the game time situations. I want to see if he leads this team in the game. I want to get up close and personal with these guys. He said that numerous times there. Message set right there. First play of preseason, let's throw it to offense. It's all offense. Take a look at Bill's starting offense, brought to you by Units. There's a familiar face. Sean Henderson gets the start in place of Cody Glenn. Sean McCoy actually did not start the game. Jonathan Williams did. And you saw that in both early throws. Right to the line of scrimmage, and this is exactly what you want to see from a team early in the preseason. That was a pick at the 13. Finally, they go to the ground. Jonathan Williams. This is going to be a hold. Taken deep in the secondary. Incognito, it came all the way from the secondary, but it was right at the point of attack where Williams came right through the middle of the line. Right here's Incognito. Right there, he pulled him late. Yeah, he pulled him late after the play was over, and that's when the play came in. How did he need to do that? It was a good call by the official. Watkins already 3 receptions. And it's plays like that by Incognito, like Coach McDermott, when I was wearing Steve Mattel's. These are the type of things that should no longer be part of this Buffalo Bills organization. And you can kind of let the competitive go inside. If he jumps offside, that's when you really can't start the business. Tyrod Taylor, Coach McDermott right now might be saying, Tyrod, your day is done. That has got to put a lot of fear in a lot of Bills fans. And it's not a smooth walk back over the huddle. Third and 1 after that lights out. We get into the first drive. We have the holding plan and then put him in the hole, and they couldn't find that. And it's safe. Across the field. Jonathan Williams in the game in place of Sean McCoy. Did not even see the field in that first series. Jonathan Williams kind of played extremely well. A lot of people have noted the uptick in his play all through training camp, and tonight he gets the nod to start 24 linemen, and he kind of disappeared from that spot. And now tonight, in the second series, first play, he comes in and gets one. Another sign of that was the Yardbird set. These guys are really 4-3 defensive ends, which means they really know how to work the tackle and come off the edge on 2 consecutive plays. Substituting going on. Vlad Dukas is in at guard and got stood up a little bit right there at the point of attack, and Williams had to kind of run around and couldn't get there. That was a play that was made by the defensive tackle of the Vikings. Great run defense right there. Second away after loss of one. Williams enters the backside tails. They go to the intriguing as a quarterback. The pressure's going to come from right here. He gets out, looks like, and then misses, makes both defensive ends miss. With pump fake gets him back to the line of scrimmage, actually gains a yard back there, lost on first down, but brings up a 3rd and 10. That's the receivers outside of got to do a better job on both his legs. You talk about Tyrod Taylor, type of quarterback he is in the last 2 years. Almost 200 rushes and 1,100 yards rushing, 10 TDs. 580 yards rushing last season. One of the reasons they led the league was because of Tyrod Taylor's contribution. They still would have been a top 5 rushing team. So Tyler does contribute, but he's not the reason they're good on the ground. Schmidt gets this one off. It's going to be another hold, the second hold of the game, first on Minnesota. Holding, offense number 75. Alex Brewer, Buckeye, listen for that one. Let's go down the sideline. Mike, what do you got?
Well, we've talked about Eddie Harbaugh now. He's already gotten a sack in this game, and Sean McDermott says the guy is trending upward, and he is a really upbeat young man who's had some adversity trying to get into the NFL. Went to the Broncos, hung around for camp for a while, but was then let go. Signed with the CFL with Calgary, never appeared in the game, but he was working. And Coach Walker, the defensive line coach, tracked him, and he said, bring this guy in. He has been impressive with the sack already.
Story of grew up in Arkansas in a trailer park. His two superstars, the family, eventually moved to Colorado and started to get more opportunities. And there is a guy who's essentially out of the game. He put a break with the CFL, really is fighting to be a starter in the NFL.
Yeah, he was with Denver for a cup of coffee. He was out of the NFL all last year, and you know that's one of the things, man. It gives you a refreshed attitude when you get a chance, an opportunity like the Buffalo Bills have given you. Sam Bradford and the Bills are doing a nice job of you can get him to move off his spot. He's not an athletic quarterback, but he can swing the football. He can make all the throws that are sloppy, but he's not as good on the move. And on these last two series, the first two series of the game, the Bills have gotten him out of the pocket on third down and has caused incompletions. Just a 31-yard punt. Ticketmaster presents Games to Watch. It starts September 17th. It's week 2 of the season. Coach McDermott returns to Carolina as these Bills take on Cam Newton and the Panthers. McDermott 6 seasons as Panthers defensive coordinator. 4 times Carolina's D ranked in the top 10 in the NFL. One of the reasons he's now the head man there in Buffalo. Games to Watch presented by Ticketmaster. Buy and sell verified Bills tickets at NFL Tickets. first quarter.
Yeah, he has, but and you know he's going to because LaShawn McCoy he doesn't need to practice. I mean, he's a veteran running back. You know he's going to get some miles on him. They need somebody they can depend on in this offense, and Jonathan Williams is going to get a lot of work proving that he should be right behind LaShawn McCoy. Well, he was really clear. He's taking it. Right out onto the safety, Gideon, and that was a great running play. How about Big Mike Taylor, the fullback, back to sort this out. Some of those guys, they start getting their hand fight, they just look out for something to grab and get rid of the guy, and they grab their face mask and throw it on the ground, hoping nobody sees it, and everybody does. Used to still be in it, actually. So back to 5:07 for 35, Case Keenan, now in the center. Comes outside. They're going to get a reception. You're talking about new velocity on defense, but Sean McDermott and there's something there. Coach who was a defensive coordinator, Leslie Frazier, the guy who pitched that call. He's the guy calling the plays. Her coordinators for this staff at the initial offset are on the field, both offensively and defensively. Then you see Leslie Frazier. Of course, Leslie is the head coach, 2011 to 2013. I think it's like 6. yours to Mike.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Rick Dennison is the offensive coordinator. Sean McDermott really looking for a guy with experience when he made this hire, and Dennison has that. He has been an offensive coordinator with the Broncos, with the Texans, and earlier with the Broncos, also a quarterbacks coach with the Baltimore Ravens. Tyrod Taylor was the backup there, and that experience has served him well trying to get this offense going.
Already. Yeah, I mean, let's face it, all these coaches have philosophy that's been proven to work, and I think you need a philosophy that makes the most out of what you've got. Rick Dennison has a lot of faith in this, and he also knows a lot about Tyrod Taylor, and it'll be interesting to see how he incorporates him. State is nicknamed Philly Brown. He's Corey Brown. He got the nickname Philly because there was another Corey Brown on the roster, and his head coach Jim Tressel of Ohio State at the time said, since he's from Philadelphia, he's going to Philadelphia. Sort of, but he's going to release right here. Watch Yates come back, look down the field, and then late come out, and that's a design screen pass as Chantrell Henderson gets out on the safety Gideon and turns this into a 15-yard play. We're going to start with Lewis. Yates. So pretty impressive outing for Jonathan Williams in the first quarter. Williams, in that contest to be the number 2 guy behind Shady. Then it's about depth. Williams, 4 carries, 39 yards. Also had a reception for 7 yards. Had that 17-yard pickup as well. So he did himself well. Let's see how the rest of the depth looks. 1 yard remains. Yes. Wilson Banner didn't get his head around him. Banner had a hard time getting. He's going to come up and go turn around, and the ball's going to be passed him before he actually looks. That just goes right over his head, almost ducked out of the way. That's right out. That's not a bad play by Yates. Banner's got to get his head around and catch the football. That was just 0 for 3 on the third down. This is 3rd and 9 right now. Yates. It's only not quite there with Rod Streeter. So the third comes on for Buffalo. Yeah, that's one of the things that the timing when you start playing in a live game was just a little bit off. That ball came out right on time from T.J. Yates, a little off target, but by the time Streeter got his head around it, the timing was completely off. Since the Coley back to field this point, really, it's no part of it. Takes a Minnesota balance and actually look on one. That 32-yard Welcome back to Vikings football on the Vikings Entertainment Network. 3-zip Buffalo. Anthony Harris, are you happy to be back? What up, man? Welcome to the league. Have fun today, you know what I'm saying? We back! Hey, just getting started. On my birthday, they threw me a surprise party. Hey, he sang Pete Bursage's favorite song. Whatever it was. There is Anthony Harris, a third-year undrafted safety from Virginia, a 9-yard game for the Vikings offense, by the way. You know, we're not in the business of laying out what we think will be the final 53. You know, especially at this part of the equation. But I mean, if I were to guess, safeties, Harrison Smith, Andrew Sendejo, J-Ron Kearse, and our mic'd up guy, Anthony Harris. Bishop Sankey's the tailback. The former Titan gets the call on 2nd and short.
for a loss. In fact, it'll be a loss of 4, and that'll make it 3rd and right around 3 or 4 for the Vikings.
Paul, the challenges in the running game continue. Early on, decent running game. We either had a penalty or gave up a sack on every single series in the first quarter. So just kind of rather checkered. This offensive line, the running game not quite in the rhythm that it needs to be. And you don't want to go backwards as you're heading into a third down situation.
Bishop Sankey in his 4th year from Washington to the left of 5th-year quarterback Case Keenum on 3rd and 3 from the 29. Case is like, I want this backup job. Watch me duck. Watch me run.
Well, they're really, to be honest, there's not much open downfield. Good coverage. Downfield by the defensive backs of Buffalo. And Case Keenum just keeping the play alive. This is what competition does, Paul. When you're vying for that second spot, 2 guys all over them. And the Bills, Worthy wasn't able to bring him down. Joe Worthy wasn't able to bring him down. So nice play by Keenum to move the chains. Gutsy play, gritty play. Let's see if he can finish the drive.
And on first down, play action. Case feeling good about himself. Nondescript 2016 season, trying to strike down the middle of the field and get the Vikings their first touchdown of the preseason. Number 65 is that center for the Vikings. His name, Pat Elflein. 3rd-round pick, 70th overall from Ohio State University. Played center and guard at OSU. And in fact, he played guard for an Ohio State national championship team. That season, 3 games at left guard, 12 at right. He's a center here. He was the 2016 Remington Award winner, and he left OSU as a 5th-year senior. He's the battery mate for Case Keenum on 2nd and 10. Midway through the second quarter, Bills lead by 3. Keenum protected sweetly, whips it over the middle. Holy the tail. Flips to the right side. 29-yard line. Way to go, Coley.
Well, what I like about with Coley, Paul, is he missed a blitz earlier, a conversion on a blitz, but he's coming back. He gets protection up front. Penalty. Good protection up front, but Coley just across the middle, and he makes a couple nice moves. Here he sets up the block, gets outside, and they're pushing him back late. Yeah, but it occurred after the first down, so the Vikings get. Well, they might have gotten past midfield to see where they marked everything to go through.
Yeah, Mr. McCauley, you can stop walking the wrong way anytime now.
Well, these guys are all screwed up. You can tell it's preseason. The defense is 6 yards past the ball. So the Vikings getting across the 50. Here we go about the 36-yard line. So Coley, Paul, what a great run after catch. He's very, I think, mature route runner. He has a good feel for coverage. I think that was just an outstanding play by the young man.
Michael Floyd, wide right, 6-year Notre Dame. Jarius right in motion. 1st and 10, Vikings from the Bills 36. Keenum takes a low snap, whips it over the middle, and it's caught at the Bills 27-yard line by the aforementioned Michael Floyd. It's a gain of 8. Michael Floyd, Creighton Durham Hall, your alma mater Notre Dame, at times has been stealing the show at training camp. I mean, absolutely fantastic. He's going to be serving a 4-game suspension to serve the season, to start the season. So from a coaching standpoint, how do you filter him in knowing he's going to be on the team and probably contribute?
Well, I think you're going to keep him away from the first team. But once that second, third team rolling, you're going to want to get him, in my opinion, as many snaps as you can to get him into game shape, because you are going to lose him for the first 4 weeks.
Bishop Sankey spurts up the middle to the 24 for a gain of 4 yards. And a first down for the Vikings. Michael Floyd played with the Arizona Cardinals, had an off-field situation December of last year. Cut by the Cardinals, picked up by Belichick, inactive during the postseason and for the Super Bowl, but on the team. Got a Super Bowl ring with the Patriots. Mr. Belichick opted not to bring him back, signed by the Minnesota Vikings. And Michael Floyd, I'm telling you, if he plays the way he's played in training camp this 2017 season, we are going to be on to something with him. Handoff Bishop Sankey left side, toned down in the backfield for a loss of 2 yards. It will be 2nd and 8.
Now, we had too much up the middle, Paul, the defensive line, and just head bobbing and getting around our offensive line there. So trying to run the zone blocking scheme to the left, too many white helmets just getting through, too much penetration. So the offensive line, I think, the first group and now even the second group here, a little inconsistent. Now we got a lot of young players up inside and up in the middle of that offensive line. But
yeah, it's Searles, Kieran, Elfline, rookie Danny Isadora, and second-year guy Willie Beavers at right tackle. Keenum out of the shotgun, spring left. Bishop Sankey turns it up, cuts to the right, 25. Forges ahead to the 19 on 2nd and 12. He got 6 of it. So it'll be about 3rd and 6. 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. The only scoring in the game, a Stephen Hauschka 42-yard field goal. And the Vikings are threatening with an opportunity to tie it.
I want to get some points on the board. And this is, for Schrammer, when a defensive line is getting after you in the running game, they're getting after you in the passing game, the screen game is really the counter to that. You take advantage of a defensive line that's over pursuing or getting too far upfield, and you try to slow them down. So the screen game, the last one to Bishop Sankey, is their attempt to slow down this rush.
Let's see case by Michael Floyd. Looks left, 3rd down, nope, got left. Bishop Sankey about 2-3 yards away from the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be short of the first down. Sharice Wright, a 7th-year corner from USC, the one to encounter Bishop Sankey, and Kai Forbath heads into the game. Kai Forbath and Marshall Kane are the 2 kickers being used this offseason by the Vikings. Forbath, the veteran. Kai signed last year when the Vikings released Blair Walsh, 6-year from UCLA. He was 16 of 16 on field goals for the Vikings last year. Hasn't missed a regular season field goal since December of 2015. This will be a 36-yard try left hash. Kevin McDermott's snap is good. Quigley puts it down, and Forbath nails it from 36. And we are tied. 3:26 to go in the first half. Game's all tied at 3 on the Vikings Entertainment Network. Game tied at 3. It's Vikings football on the Vikings Entertainment Network. Sam Bradford, Kyle Rudolph, Stephon Diggs chatting about probably the first-team offense as we take a peek at the health report provided by Twin Cities Orthopedics. Sharif Floyd on the non-football injury list, something with which the team dealt last year. The Vikings win 11 plays, 60 yards, took 5.5 minutes, 36-yard field goal by Kai Forbath. And here is the kick. Marshall Kane, the one on the kickoff. Brandon Tate comes out 7 yards deep. Near side to the 5, to the 10, to the 15. And the veteran Brandon Tate is smacked by linebacker Edmund Robinson after a 22-yard return.
That's a great job by Edmund Robinson. Getting down as Tate decides to take it out. Lamar makes him cut back and boom. Nice job by Robinson. He's got the start of linebacker ball, goes in there and plays some defense, but this is what happens in the preseason. You never really finish, so you get him out there on special teams covering kicks. So nice job by Robinson to show up today.
TJ Yates, the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, goes play action. TJ floats out to the left. He'll dump left, and it's caught for a shorty. A gain of about 4, maybe 5 yards. And on the reception, Philly Brown, real first name is Corey, former member of the Carolina Panthers in his 4th year from Ohio State. There's Mackenzie Alexander. He could play a key role for the Vikings this season, Peter.
He will, and right now he's getting his chances to play corner. But going into the season, you're going to look for him to definitely play the nickel position.
Handoff left side, gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards, just a couple, making it 3rd and short as we approach the 2-minute warning. There you see Ben Gideon. He is a 4th-round rookie linebacker from Michigan, wears 42. He's playing weak side linebacker here. He was a 4-year special team stud for the Michigan Wolverines, but he also played extensively on defense. And we will chat shortly with Ben Lever about his possibilities of winning a starting linebacker job. Yates dumps right, and Joe Banyard with a 2-yard gain. The aforementioned Gideon on the tackle as we approach the 2-minute warning. The game is all tied at 3. Former Viking Stephen Hauschka with a field goal, and current Viking Kai Forbath tying it. Bills have the ball when we return to Orchard Park, New York on the Vikings Entertainment Network. Vikings and Bills on the Vikings Entertainment Network. Ben Lieber's on the sidelines, knows a little bit about playing a linebacker for the Minnesota Vikings. This guy, Ben Gideon, rookie from Michigan. Ben, he's playing weak side linebacker for the Vikings. First, what exactly is that?
Well, it's funny because I don't want to give him a long, sort of confusing description of it, but he lines up basically on the tight end side. It's Chad Greenway's old spot. If they call a defense to the left, he lines up on the left. They call it to the right, he lines up on the right. And normally they have the three technique defensive tackle in front of him to protect him.
Okay, now with Gideon, what do you think of his prospects not only of making the team but contributing?
Oh, I think he's definitely going to make the team, and he should contribute not only just on special teams, but it sounds like he's going to get ample opportunity to actually crack the starting lineup. And I was surprised in the side night scrimmage last week that he got a lot of run with the runs, and listening to Coach Zimmer talk about him, I mean, you can hear the joy kind of in his voice about just what he brings to the table. Very smart player, has a throwback football mentality where he just wants to run downhill and hit somebody. And I think to his core, that's what Mike Zimmer wants out of his defense. And I think Gideon, expresses all those attributes.
And what about, speaking of Chad Greenway, what about one of your best friends in your NFL career? Chad Greenway on Twitter before the game, FaceTiming with some of us. He misses it tonight, Ben.
Yeah, he's definitely going to miss it, but I just saw a picture on social media as well. He's got basically his feet kicked up at a restaurant. He's got basically essentially an Abreu drink in front of him, not sure what it is. I think he's enjoying life right now, and he's going to feel a lot better tomorrow morning.
Thanks a lot, Ben.
Thank you.
So the Vikings forced the Bills to punt. By the way, while Ben was chatting about Ben Gideon, Tayshawn Bauer had a sack.
He did. This defensive line, if there's one group that we've seen in the first half of the first preseason game that's been consistent and has played well, it's that group of defensive line. They've been getting pressure on the quarterback all day.
Coley with a fair catch of a punt at the 27-yard line. It's a 45-yard punt. Now, Tayshawn Bauer wears number 64. He's in an interesting spot. He is a college free agent, and he was a priority college free agent. General Manager Rick Spielman made it a point this year in the offseason to give some college free agents more compensation, markedly more than the team has in the past. Bauer was one of those guys. They really wanted him. He's undrafted, but he comes from the same school as Danielle Hunter, and they think they're onto something with Tayshawn Bauer.
I think it's very prudent for a team to spend a little extra money on the priority free agents. Get these guys in here because they're going to work out. And you look at a guy like Tayshawn who just had a big sack. I don't care if he's an undrafted rookie free agent. If you can get to the quarterback consistently in this league, you will be on somebody's roster. So we've said it before. You're not just trying out for the Vikings. You're trying out for the other 31 teams. And anytime you get that quarterback on the ground, Paul, it's a big deal.
Keenum shotgun. Vikings have 3 timeouts. Whips it out to the right, and it's caught at the 35-yard line. And Rodney Adams, the rookie from South Florida, falls ahead for a Vikings first down after a reception of 10 yards. The Vikings will use their first of 3 timeouts. Buffalo has 2 timeouts remaining this half. 54 seconds to go in the first half. Speaking of Adams, good shot of Rodney Adams there. 5th round, pick 170 from South Florida. 16 receiving, 7 rushing, and 1 kick return touchdown while playing at South Florida. Averaged 24.8 yards per kick return. Playing for South Florida, playing wide receiver in the National Football League. But compared to the way they played it in South Florida, where a lot of the stuff he did was via bubble screens, a lot of gadget plays. It's a different ball game up here.
It's completely different. And then you take a look at Adams and you compare him to Coley, and you can see Coley's he came in from a different system. He's just a little bit ahead, I think, as far as running routes and learning defenses and figuring out where to go.
Screen to Sankey right side, got about 5.
Well, the screen game, Paul, has been essential for this, for the offense today. They've had a hard time moving the ball consistently on the ground or in the air. So that screen game's been pivotal, trying to slow down the defensive line of the Bills. But getting back to the wide receiver, Rodney Adams definitely has the talent, definitely has the ability, the speed. A guy like Coley, Stacy Coley, he comes around and he just knows offenses. He's just a darn good receiver, good hands, doing all the little things right. So it'll be an interesting battle for both those two.
Keenum, 9 of 12, 84 yards. Whips it pass by Case Keenum, by the way. Rodney hung out to dry just a tad, but nevertheless, good that Rodney got up okay.
Yeah, he was hit low, and that's what these defensive backs are doing because they can't hit these receivers up high, but you have to catch the ball in your hands. Yeah, Rodney Adams lets it bounce off of his chest. If he catches that ball with his hands, then I think he comes down with it. So a lot of lessons being learned in this first preseason game by Rodney Adams.
Floyd and Wright, a couple of veterans off to the left. Bucky Hodges, a rookie with fellow rookie Rodney Adams to the right. 42 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and 4. Keenum looking left. He's encountered by a defensive line. Intercepted. And after all that, it's incomplete. Case Keenum nearly sacked by Eddie Yarborough. First full year from Wyoming. Eddie had a sack of Sam Bradford way back in the first quarter. He's playing for Shaq Lawson, a highly drafted player from Clemson last year. Spent part of the year injured, and Shaq did not play this evening for Leslie Frazier's defense. Former Vikings head coach is the defensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. We'll pay some attention and chat about Leslie Frazier a little bit in the second half. High snap to the punter. Brandon Tate with a fair catch inside the 10-yard line. And the punter that time was Tyler Semank. As Semank and Quigley have rotated punting duties. Let's take a look at a spot called the gunner.
It's one of the toughest positions in all of sports. You know, Sam Brown getting a chance here. You get blocked all the way down the field. You have to be smart. You have to be tenacious. And there's a lot of technique and smarts that goes into playing that spot. Knowing how to split, how to set defensive backs up, when to use the sideline because they cannot block you. You can't go out of bounds intentionally, but you can't stay out of bounds intentionally either. So a lot of ins and outs of that spot.
Yates hands it off to the tailback, heads to the left side, deep in the first half. Will Sutton, former member of the Chicago Bears, in the game and also part of the tackle. And that should be the final play of the first half. The Bills get the ball to begin the second half. 3-3 as we head to halftime. Stephen Hauschka with a 42-yard field goal. Ty Forbat was good from 36. And Dalvin Cook celebrating his 22nd birthday. He made his National Football League debut this evening. Dalvin Cook ran it 5 times for 13 yards. And he also caught the ball 4 times for 30. Second half action around the corner. Don't leave.
Official beer sponsor of the Minnesota Vikings. By CenturyLink, a trusted technology provider of your Minnesota Vikings. By Twin Cities Orthopedics, official orthopedic provider of the Minnesota Vikings. And by U.S. Bank, official bank of the Minnesota Vikings.
Welcome back to Minnesota Vikings football. The first preseason game, it's the Vikings and Buffalo Bills. Game's tied at 3. Greg Coleman, Pete Bursich, Ben Lieber, yours truly, Paul Allen. We are excited for the second half to see what happens with the Vikings quarterbacks and the lot. But let's get the thoughts from Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer, and here's Greg Coleman.
Greg Coleman here with Coach Mike Zimmer. Coach, first game out of training camp, what were some of the things that you liked in the first half?
Well, it really wasn't much that I liked, to be honest with you. We didn't play the run good on defense. We had guys running up the field trying to get their quarterback in running situations. We didn't protect the quarterback very well. So
your focus in the second half for a lot of these young guys trying to fight to make this football team.
Yeah, well, my focus is to start doing the things they've been taught to do.
Coach, thanks a lot.
All right.
There you got it, guys. Head coach Mike Zimmer, not very pleased with the effort of his football team. Guys, back upstairs to you.
Well, I think the best thing to say after that was, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play?
You gotta love Coach Zimmer when he's not gonna sugarcoat it for you, and he's right. I remember earlier on you had the blitz with Harrison Smith and running up the field, and the cutback, the running back cuts back underneath him, so some opportunities. But you have to be happy with certain segments of the game, defensively, especially with the D-line, their ability to get pressure on the quarterback. I think the defensive backs outside of the blitzing part of the game did a nice job covering down on the field. And I think the other big story is Trey Waynes. He came out, looked like he was holding his shoulder after he rolled over on a tackle, and we'll have to monitor his progress.
There's Kai Forbath's kick about 2 yards Canes. And Rashad Ross goes to a knee, and the Buffalo Bills will begin at their own 20 with a game tied at 3. Mike referenced the rush defense. The Vikings gave up 107 rushing yards per game last season. That definitely is something that needs to improve.
Well, it does need to improve, and I think a lot of that, in my opinion, is just carrying more interior defensive linemen, getting them active during the game, having 8 guys that you could rotate in or out. What Zimmer was alluding to is just a lack of discipline, and especially, like he said, on a running down, these guys are flying up the field trying to sack the quarterback. That's just not being disciplined. It's not being smart.
Ball out to the 25. Following the touchback, TJ Yates floats out to the left, incomplete. Dumped it for veteran Mike Tolbert. It was covered by Edmund Robinson. Now, when the Vikings first-team defense was out, the linebackers in the 4-3 base were Eric Hendricks in the middle. He's led the Vikings in tackles the last 2 years, Anthony Barr and Edmund Robinson. Edmund playing now early in the second half. Can you read into that?
I don't think so. I think you need Rob. You need him in there. We just do not have a ton of depth at all the different positions. He's not playing the Mike position. He's playing the outside linebacker spot, so he's getting a few snaps, allowing Ben Gideon to get inside and play some Mike.
Yeah, Gideon goes to the middle, and Emmanuel Lamar is to his left. Swing to Joe Banyard across the 30 to the 32 for a gain of 6. Yes, the same Joe Banyard who spent some time in the preseason with the Vikings the last several years. There are 3 former Vikings playing for the Buffalo Bills. Offensive lineman Vlad Dukas, along with former linebacker Gerald Hodges and Joe Banyard. Their defense is coordinated by former Vikings head coach Leslie Frazier. It's 3rd and 3 for TJ Yates from his own 32. Game tied at 3. Yates looks left, throws left, incomplete. The intended receiver, tight end Logan Thomas, in his 3rd year from Virginia Tech. And the Buffalo Bills will punt. Stacey Coley, the rookie Kane, into the game to retrieve the punt. Game tied at 3.
Well, I think so far tonight, if you look on the offense, Stacey Coley, I think, has stood out. He stood out as a wide receiver. He's stood out with his ability to run after the catch, to get open, to run good disciplined routes. I like what I see out of that young man, and now he's getting an opportunity to return some punts. This is how you make the team, return punts and return kickoffs.
There's Coley, shakes on a couple of Bills at the 25 and lunges ahead to the 31-yard line, 46-yard punt. And the Vikings offense, led by Case Keenum, heads onto the field. Join us for the TCO Vikings 5K Saturday, September 16th in Minneapolis, where you will finish the race at the 50-yard line of US Bank Stadium. Now, space is limited. Register today at Vikings.com/run. Case Keenum, in his time in the first half, 9 of 14, 85 yards. Sam Bradford finished 5 of 7 for 35 yards. Dalvin Cook ran it 5 times for 13 yards. Game tied at 3 early in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10, Minnesota from its own 31. Keenum back to pass, whips it out right, and it's caught for a 1st down. Caught by Michael Floyd. Notre Dame, Cretin-Derham Hall. Played at Cretin-Derham Hall with Chantrell Henderson, an offensive lineman for the Bills, gain of 12.
Good protection for Case Keenum, and I think what we've seen with Case Keenum, the passing game changing a little bit, a lot more 5 out in routes, meaning you're getting more, that's a true West Coast style passing game. You're getting 5 receivers, it's a 1-2-3 plant, read, and throw. And so the offensive passing game, I think, changing a little bit with Keenum at the helm.
Rookie Pat Elflein, the center. Case Keenum, the quarterback. Hands to Rodney Adams on an end around left to right. Rookie turns it up across the 50 to the 45. And Rodney Adams runs the Vikings to another 1st down. It's a run of 13. Those are the types of plays Adams executed frequently at South Florida.
Yeah, he has. And when you lose a football practice and you want to block that, that'd be obvious. You'd love to see someone come in and do that. And right, you pointed out exactly what I was going to say. Bucky Hodges blocking on the outside there. That is your tight end position being important, not only in run blocking, but in these kind of gadget plays when you try to get to the outside.
TJ Clemmings, the new left guard. Keenum under center, 1st and 10, game tied at 3. And off goes to Bishop Sankey, run to the right side, 40, 35, 30, and Bishop Sankey, the former Tennessee Titan, down at the 27, emphasis on the word down, as certified athletic trainer Eric Sugarman runs out, and he is the first to tend to the wounded back, Bishop Sankey. Gain of 15.
Bishop Sankey goes down holding that right knee after a really, really nice nice run. And
we're light on running backs tonight, by the way.
Yeah, we're definitely. So Latavius Murray not being here, and either Jared McKinnon.
The pause of Vikings in Bills territory. Third quarter, game tied at 3 on the Vikings Entertainment Network. Minnesota Vikings football, courtesy of the Vikings Entertainment Network. 12 and a half minutes to go in the third quarter. Game tied at 3. Bishop Sankey left the field with the assistance of Chris Larson. There you see on the right of your screen, Twin Cities Orthopedics, and a certified athletic trainer, Eric Sugarman. High formation on 1st and 10 from the Bills 29. Case Keenum, the quarterback. Handoff goes to C.J. Ham. C.J. Ham working as some fullback slash tailback for the Vikings. Falls ahead to the 28-yard line. Gaining just a couple, or actually no gain, making it 2nd and 10. There's T.J. Clemmings. T.J. Clemmings has played left tackle. He's played right tackle. He's currently in at left guard. T.J. in his 3rd year from Pitt has 30 starts under his belt for the Vikings, including starting every game in 2015 at right tackle, the year the Vikings won the division.
I know guard is a much easier spot. It has its challenges, but for TJ being out of tackle and then moving in the guard, he's gonna like having a guy on either side and not being on the edge of an offense anymore.
Duluth's C.J. Ham with some tough love yardage, gain of 3, making it 3rd and 7. Back to TJ for a second. You know, he started playing offensive line late in the equation. He was a defensive lineman at Pitt playing with Aaron Donald. You know, and TJ, he's taken his lumps specifically at left tackle. Played decently at right tackle a year they won the division, but he's gained so much experience. If it's going to click with TJ, it would be this year.
And it's going to have to be this year because he's in his 3rd spot, probably the spot he's most natural to play. But he did struggle with speed on the edge, and Paul, that experience is fantastic. You look at a preseason game compared to a regular season game, no problem.
Keenum fires down inside the 5, and it is caught by Coley the Cane. Stacy Coley makes it 1st and goal. Vikings from the 2-yard line. Stacy Coley, nice job by the quarterback getting on the outside. Case Keenum finds Coley deep. Coley tries to stay on his feet, find a way to stay on his feet. They're going to challenge it.
Coley's got to understand as a wide receiver, one knee is 2 feet. So he had the right knee, and the question is whether or not that left knee was out of bounds.
All right, Bob, now a challenge from our new Bills coach, Sean McDermott.
Buffalo's challenge, but the pass was incomplete.
There has been a significant change to the instant replay process this year. For more, here's Ben Lieber.
Yeah, guys, the fans are going to have to know this. This is going to be coming up a lot in these games in the regular season. First time tonight. So what's new is now everything is going to be reviewed through an official in the New York office. So what you're going to see is the referee for each game will come out to one of the 20-yard lines. There's a Microsoft Surface replay unit, which is a handheld device, onto the 20-yard lines of the home side. The referee will go there, review the replay along with the in-stadium review official, along with the 3rd tier, the official in New York. So now all replays will be reviewed by the official in New York and decided by the official in New York. So no longer do fans have to complain about the referees making calls in-game because it's all going to be done back in New York and relate to the guys on the field.
Ben, my first question would be, well, here's Terry McCauley. Wow, that was fast.
Control it with 1 knee on the ground. Buffalo's charged with their 1st timeout.
So, Ben, the intention is to speed things up, and we just saw it.
Yeah, and I think they just wanted continuity, too. I mean, so many times we've seen catches that are incomplete or complete, and they talk about the process of the catch. Now we have just one voice for all the games to decide some of those subjective calls.
Well done. Thank you. 1st and goal, Vikings from inside the 2-yard line. I formation behind Case Keenum, and C.J. Ham is the tailback in a game that has lacked touchdowns. Handoff C.J. goes burrowing up the middle, grinding inside the 1. Brings the Vikings to a 9-3 lead.
Now you like the way the Vikings do it. They bring in the extra tight ends, get big on big, and just from the 2-yard line, really just kind of cram it down the throats of the Buffalo Bills. You see Ham churning and pushing the defensive line back. So nice short yardage run by C.J. Ham. I'd like to see Latavius Murray be that back for the Vikings with the struggles in short yardage and goal line that we had a year ago. But Ham doing a great job pounding that ball across the yard.
The Vikings had 4 tight ends in the game, including Josiah Price, who was the lead back for C.J. Ham. Here is the extra point. And the Vikings have taken a 10-3 lead. Marshall Kane nailed the extra point. C.J. Ham scores the Vikings' first preseason touchdown. We lead in the third quarter. This is Vikings football. Welcome back to Minnesota Vikings football on the Vikings Entertainment Network from New Era Field. It is 10-3 Minnesota. The visitors went on a 6-play, 69-yard drive, took 326. C.J. Ham with a 1-yard touchdown run following the blocking of backup tight end Josiah Price. Stacy Coley with a 24-yard reception, getting the Vikings to the Buffalo 2. And we visually will carry you through that sequence momentarily. Boom! There's Marshall Kane's kick, deep and high and bobbled. And to a knee goes the kick returner. Take us through it.
What's great is they responded to what Zimmer said at halftime, wanting to see more out of the offense. T.J. Clemmings playing at guard, just doing a wonderful job, getting those big long arms, staying hooked up, staying finishing all of it through the end of the play. And then you get the throw downfield to Stacy Coley. Now C.J. has one moment. Great job responding to the challenge Zimmer gave him at halftime.
And here comes T.J. Yates in the Buffalo Bills. 3 receiver set, 2 to the left. Handoff goes to the tailback to the right side. And he is upended at the 30-yard line after a gain of 5. And leaders on the sidelines with Minnesota and Adam Thielen.
That's right, guys. And before I get with Adam, just a real quick housekeeping element. Bishop Sankey has been officially ruled out with a knee injury, so we will not see him the rest of the game. Now, Adam, you're very much here. You are out of the game, but not because of injury. How'd it go? First preseason game, you know, you had a couple weeks of training camp. How'd you feel out there?
I mean, it was good. It was nice to get back out there and competing against somebody other than our own teammates. And, yeah, I mean, we're going to have a lot of things to work on. Obviously, go check this tape. But like I said, it's just good to get back out there, hitting people again, and competing.
Your journey to the Vikings has been well documented. You got rewarded and you earned another contract extension this offseason. What are some of the things that keep you hungry on a day-to-day basis?
I think just proving people wrong. I think there's still a lot of people that don't think that I am the player that I am, and people don't think that I can play at a high level. So I think for me, it's just taking it one day at a time and trying to help this football team win as many games as possible, and just doing my job along the way.
Now you've had Sam Bradford with you guys for just about a year now. You know, how nice is it to have him kind of under the helm and get that chemistry? How's the relationship going with him and you as a relationship with receiver and quarterback?
I mean, it's been huge. It's been huge to have him this offseason, to be able to talk about the little things. You know, everything happened so fast last year that we were really to be able to get, you know, exactly what he wanted out of a route and what I like out of a route and things like that. So it's been great just to be able to get on the same page. And even today, we were, you know, talking on the sideline a bunch about what we saw, what we like, what we would have done differently, and things like that.
Rodney Adams muffed a punch. Jaleel Johnson had a sack while Ben was chatting with Adam Thielen. We are awaiting the decision by stripes after Rodney Adams probably should have called for a fair catch, but he muffed it, and rookie Tocho, a rookie from North Carolina State, Jack Tocho, recovered it. 10-3 Vikings third quarter on the Vikings Entertainment Network. It's Minnesota Vikings football, courtesy of the Vikings Entertainment Network. 10-3 Minnesota third quarter. Hey, get your official 2017 Vikings yearbook and check out photos and stats of your favorite Vikings players. Order now at VikingsYearbook.com. Minnesota leads by 7. Taylor Heineke, the third quarterback used by Pat Shurmur and Mike Zimmer. Case Keenum finishes 11 of 16, 121 yards. And Taylor Heineke, undrafted from Old Dominions in the game. Handoff to the left, and that'll be a loss of a couple of yards. You know, sideline analyst Ben Lieber has seen Taylor Heineke play all the way back to his Old Dominion days. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, that's time you watch him, you're like, man, this guy, he's got something special. You know, it's the intangible, it's that it factor that everybody talks about. You know, he just has it. He has this toughness. He has this leadership. I love the way he's kind of a scrappy quarterback.
He's been around here since 2015. Injured himself in the preseason last year, injured his foot trying to assist a friend, and was lost for the season last year, game of 5, making it third and right around 6. Heineke is battling Case Keenum for the immediate backup spot to Sam Bradford. You know, I gotta believe with Keenum getting the first crack tonight, and quite honestly playing very well, including a good pass to Stacy Coley down to the 2-yard line. You know, in this 2-horse race, I'd make Keenum favored. Curious to see what they do at Seattle next week. They could flip the order with Heineke being the immediate backup to Bradford.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 97. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
I mean, we've seen that in the past where one guy is the second quarterback in one game, then the next week, you know, Taylor Heineke could be the backup to Bradford next week with Keenum following him.
You're right, and they'll do that to give each guy a fair shot. But you look at the first half, the changes that were made, what was said by Zimmer, the things they did at halftime. You get a veteran like Case Keenum who came out and made some plays with his legs. He finally made a big completion down toward the goal line, and he got this team to score, got a touchdown out of the offense. So his advantage is the leadership. He's been down this road before. He's played in a number of NFL games. Bad snap,
He's low safe. Runs left side, 40, 45, turns it up 50. Taylor Heineke with the wheels. Gain of 16 after a low snap from the rookie Pat Elflein. Heineke makes something out of nothing.
He was ready for it, so that was nothing on the quarterback. But this is what he does. Taylor Heineke, broken play, busted play, get the football, take a throw, pull it down, move the chains. I mean, that's what you love about a young quarterback like Taylor Heineke, is his athleticism, his ability to improvise, his ability to run and to get some yardage on the ground. Let's face it, Bradford is not a scrambling quarterback. He's not a guy that's going to get you a bunch of yards in the ground, but Heineke might be that kind of quarterback.
Searles, Clemens, Elflein, Isadora, and Beavers, the offensive line. Heineke play action, flag on the play. Taylor deep shot. Against James, a member of the Bills secondary, but we'll see what the first penalty is. One came in right after the Elflein snap. And as Coley...
2,000 to play. Holding up. Offense number 68.
That's great.
Pass interference. Defense number 38.
Yeah.
Penalties offset. First down.
Yeah, we start all over again. I hate to waste one thing, well, you hate to waste the ability to get the ball first and goal. The offense, as we're getting toward midfield, one thing we're seeing as well in the second half are these shots down the field. Isaac Frickty, the long stride, he was underthrown. He had a step on the corner. He was underthrown and slows it down and trying to get back to the football and was interfered with. So, but around midfield now, in this with Case Keenum and Frickty now, you're getting more deep shots down the field to spread and try to loosen up this Bills defense.
Caledonia's Isaac Frickty, second year from the University of Minnesota. Heineke back to pass, shakes off a defender, dump left flat, caught C.J. Ham, great shoulder shrug and move. Inside the 40, C.J. Ham, who scored a rushing touchdown tonight, is out of bounds at the 37. That is a gain of 11 yards.
And you want to get a running back in a route, you say he's a good receiver, one-hand catch, a little shake of the shoulders to break himself free. So this is a nice showing for Ham tonight's ball as well. Just a little drag, but he gets another, 5-6 yards on the play. So C.J. Ham, we're familiar with him, and this is not his first rodeo, and it's showing.
Coley left, Adams slot right, Frickty outside of him. Vikings lead 10-3, 5.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. First down, Taylor Heineke back to pass, slings it out to the right, incomplete. Looking for Frickty at the Bills' 30-yard line. Now, Isaac Frickty is incredibly fast. You know, he's been around here for a while on the Vikings practice squad. For a guy like Isaac to make the team, what has to happen?
Well, I think for Isaac Fricky, he's going to have to do what you just saw there. We know that he can get down the field, but it's the underneath routes, it's the curls, it's coming back to the football, keeping the hands together. As you saw, that ball sailed right through his hands, and those are the little things a guy like Fricky's going to have. He's going to have to be a more consistent receiver underneath for him to make the squad.
Joel Newby, the tailback, undrafted from Nebraska. Newby gets the call, tries to swing out to the right side, and he's mugged. A tackle for loss. Newby thrown down by Reggie Ragland. In his second year from Alabama, Reggie was a relatively high draft pick in 2016, injured himself in the offseason, missed the entire rookie season, and it's been tough for Reggie to work his way back to where they thought he would be. You know, somebody potentially starting with the Bills. I mean, here they got their third defense out there, and Ragland's running with the threes.
He is, and you expect a guy who could be a potential starter to stand out with the threes and the twos, and he's doing just that, as Newby had nowhere to go.
On 3rd and 14 from the Bills' 41. Taylor Heineke out of the shotgun, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Taylor backpedals, loops left, and it's he nearly was able to bring it in near side. Greg Maben, an undrafted corner from Iowa.
I think that's number 97.
Meanwhile,
Blow the head neck area quarterback. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
that's Marquavius Lewis, undrafted defensive end from South Carolina.
Well, the Vikings, they get, there it is, the hand of the, that's up there. It's close enough that they're going to call it. Now, unfortunately, Taylor Heineke misses a wide-open Bucky Hodges in the middle of the field. Bucky Hodges did a great job settling in between the hash marks, finding the soft underbelly of that cover 2 style of defense. 2 safeties deep, and Heineke did not see him, so that should have been an earned first down across the middle of the field.
1st and 10, offset eye right behind Taylor Heineke. Josiah Price, the tight end, is the up back. And the handoff goes to Newby. Rolls his way past the 25 to the 23-yard line for a gain of 3. The Vikings offensive line has been the offensive line used for the most part since the second quarter. Jeremiah Searles, 78, left tackle. TJ Clemmings next to him. Pat Elfline, the rookie from Ohio State, is the center. Danny Isadora, rookie, former captain for the Miami Hurricanes. He's the right guard, and Willie Beavers is the right tackle. As Taylor Heineke goes play action, Taylor looking to the left, now swings it, center of the field, incomplete. Center of the field at about the 5-yard line. He was in search of Stacy Coley. So now it's 3rd and 8 from the Bills' 24.
And what they're going to do on Heineke is he's turning his back on the defense. All of that hard play fake, turning his back to the defense, and when he turns around, he had a safety right in his face, and this is a dangerous throw. You gotta, if you're going to throw it, you got to hang in there and make sure you don't air it out, because now you're looking at an interception from a free safety. So you've got to hang in there. I mean, you got to give him credit. Taylor Heineke hanging in there, getting pummeled right now. He's smart with the ball.
Wide receiver Caleb Jones off to the right. Hand off to Newby. That's very sneaky. Angles to the right side, 25-20. And he's taken down at the 16-yard line. Terrell Newby with a gain of 9 on 3rd and 8.
Well, 3rd and 8, they're expecting pass. You give him a quick draw fake, and Newby really nice job by Elfline downfield, getting that second level. Once you get past the lineman, you got to get to the linebackers. Elfline getting downfield, blocking, making that linebacker slow down and allowing the running back to get the first down. So nice job down the field.
Caleb Jones near side. His brother Zay is a rookie receiver for the Buffalo Bills. Heineke empty backfield, goes out of the shotgun, looks to the left, sees nothing, floats out to the right, fires. At the 7-yard line by Terrell Newby. That bounced off, I believe, a member of the Bills into the awaiting arms of Newby, and it's close to a first down.
Well, Heineke, he doesn't like throwing to the tight ends. Kyle Carter, wide open, just too late. Once, guys are only open for a short window in this league. Open down the field. This time Heineke tries to get him the ball, but just a little bit too late, and I'd rather be lucky than good sometimes.
2nd and 2. Heineke under center, Newby the tailback. Terrell gets the carry, lowers the helmet at the 5, and bulldogs his way to the 3-yard line for a run of 3 yards, making it 1st and goal goal. Vikings leading 10-3 with 2.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Great job up front with Elfline, TJ Clemmings, and Isadora to get a push. They just get that movement out of the Bills defensive line, getting them on their heels, and there were 2 or 3 yards there before the running back even was touched. So great job up front, center and both guards, getting those tough yards, grinding them out.
First and goal from the 3, 2 tight ends to the right. Newby gets the call, scoots up the middle between the hash marks, grinds to the 2, and falls ahead to the 2, maybe close to the 1-yard line, making it second and goal from just inside the 2. There's Pat Elfline, the rookie center from Ohio State. 63 is Danny Isadora, a rookie from Miami. Danny's played quite extensively. From what I understand, a lot of the coaches are very impressed with the off-season acumen of Danny Isadora and the way he has performed during training camp. And this is the 13th play of a possession that began at the 29-yard line. Minnesota leading 10-3, and Taylor Heineke on second and goal from the 2. Goes over the shotgun, walks up the Pat Elfline, offers up some instructions. Middle of the right side of the end zone, he was singled up, he was knocked away, so now it's third and goal.
Now Leslie Frazier and the Bills in their defense, they are not, they're just letting it, they're pinning their ears back and sending everybody. That was a zero blitz, what they call it. No need to have a free safety. When the free safety be standing underneath the goalpost, but probably the ball, and we get a chance to see the replay that Fricke could have come up with. So that's 2 passes Fricke's way that you would like to have seen him catch.
Minnesota leads 16-3.
I want to make sure that he had possession. Yeah, it looked like he did, so. He did go with a touchdown, so. They're going to do it quickly, but it looked like he had possession, so Adams coming up with a big touchdown, Paul. Nice he had started this series with a punt that he muffed. He probably should have fair caught, finishes it with a touchdown. You like to see that in the young guys. Stay there.
Extra point try from the 23 between the hash marks. Snap spot, and Kai Forbath's kick is good. Taylor Heineke answers Case Keenum with a touchdown drive of his own. 14 plays, 71 yards. Took half the quarter. Vikings lead 17-3. It's Vikings football. Welcome back to Minnesota Vikings football on the Vikings Entertainment Network. Minnesota has scored a couple of TDs and leads 17-3 late in the third quarter. 14 plays, 71 yards, took 7:28. Rodney Adams, 2-yard TD reception from Taylor Heineke. Sign up for Vikings Rewards to earn points and win exclusive prizes. Enter the promo code 0810BUF. 0810 BUF. And receive 250 points. Visit Vikings.com/rewards. Boom. There's the kick. With the Vikings leading by a couple of touchdowns. And Ross comes out of the end zone, 15 to the 20. And is taken down at the 21-yard line. Here's that Vikings rewards code 0810BUF. Get 250 points. Vikings.com/rewards. Yeah, make sure you download that Vikings app. It's absolutely spectacular and opens up many opportunities for you to follow your favorite team. Taylor Heineke, Peter.
Well, they both, Case Keenum and Taylor Heineke both doing well. I think what we saw with Heineke was his ability to improvise. You have a broken play, avoids the blitz, bad snap, pulls the thing down, and just hits it down the field. First down, so, I like his athleticism. This is what you love about him, his ability to get downfield, cut back, move the chains. He turns his back on the defense quite a bit. A hard play action turn. It's not easy to do. He gets the ball over to Coley and get the touchdown. So I think Heineke did a very nice job. Both backups
matchups look pretty good, and battle continues. And you're right, we'll wait till next week to see. Maybe Heineke will get the nod to go second. Case Keenum will come out there and be the number 3 quarterback.
Nathan Peterman is in at quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, 23 years of age, stands 6'2". He was a 5th-round rookie in the most recent draft from Pitt. As we approach the end of the first quarter, the rookie Peterman goes under center, trailing 17-3. It's a handoff to the left side, and that will end the third quarter. When we return, it'll be third and very short for Buffalo. Vikings lead 17-3. Touchdowns include C.J. Ham and also Rodney Adams. Back shortly on the Vikings Entertainment Network. We are back at New Era Field, courtesy of the Vikings Entertainment Network. Into the final quarter of the first preseason game. Take a look at some stats provided by CenturyLink. Rushing about even. The Bills early in the first quarter gouging the Vikings' rush defense a bit, frustrating the head coach Mike Zimmer. Told Greg Coleman into the third quarter, rush defense needs to be better. Peterman, the rookie, on the 1st and 10. On the play, handoff goes to the right side. It's Cedric O'Neal, first-year guy from Valdosta State.
10-yard penalty, first down.
Penalty against the Buffalo Bills.
All kinds of laundry on the field. There may even be multiple penalties.
Illegal block in the back on the offense, number 87. That penalty's declined.
The Vikings' defensive line at this moment includes undrafted rookie Tayshaun Bauer. He has a sack tonight. He's the right defensive end. Jaleel Johnson, 4th-round rookie from Iowa. He's in the mix, as is Will Sutton. Will is a veteran. Will was signed in free agency after being cut by the Bears, 4th year from Arizona State. That's him, number 90. Jaleel Johnson next to him. Jaleel is a defensive tackle. He has a sack this evening, and the left defensive end is Stephen Weatherly in his 2nd year. Nathan Peterman, the rookie from Pitt, he's the quarterback. Vikings rush 5. Peterman wings it out to the right, incomplete. Emmanuel Lamar, a dropping veteran linebacker in his 6th year from Kansas State, on the coverage.
Hey, look at we talked about depth at the linebacker position and bodies, and when you look this late into the game, and LaFleur is still in there, and Edmund Robinson, by the way, still in there getting some base snaps. You're getting these guys some experience. You're trying to get them ready as they can for the season. So the linebacking core getting their fair share of snaps tonight.
2nd and 20, Peterman with a wide receiver screen left to Lewis. Caught at the 35, turns it up inside the numbers to the 40, and he's taken down at the 42-yard line. Antone Exum, one of several for the Vikings on the tackle. Antone's been around for a little bit. He's in his 4th year from Virginia Tech. He's had some significant injury-related problems during his career. Now, Antone was drafted as a safety. He played some inside corner at Virginia Tech, and for the first time in his career, that's what he's doing this year for the Vikings. You can see 32, top of your screen, playing the nickel corner role as Peterman fires over the middle, knocked away. That's Terrell Sinkfield, flag on the play.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask, defense number 94. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Jaleel Johnson, you saw a nice play by Sinkfield, who played football and was outstanding at basketball at Hopkins High School. Sinkfield was on the Vikings practice squad last year. Here's the penalty.
Well, Jaleel Johnson is getting that right hand up in the face of the offensive tackle.
Deion Dawkins from Temple.
Taking that helmet right off of him, and there's a nice view down the field. And
look at Sinkfield.
Yeah, Sinkfield. You know, when you're a young player, when you have guys like all these veterans corners in front of you, you learn from them. Though it's a harder challenge, harder to make the team. But you see those old guys do it right, and it makes the younger guys do it right.
Peterman fires right. Whoa! Missed that one by a couple of inches or feet. Jaleel Johnson was up in his mix. Rookie on rookie. 2nd and 10 from the Vikings 42. Minnesota leads 17-3. Kai Forbath hit a field goal from 36. The Vikings had a 6-play, 69-yard drive, with C.J. Ham scoring the first touchdown of the preseason. And most recently, in the third quarter, 14 plays, 71 yards. Rodney Adams with a 2-yard touchdown reception from Taylor Heineke. Handoff goes to the right side. That is Cedric O'Neal, first year from Valdosta State. There's a gain of about 3 yards. And it'll make it 3rd and 7-ish.
I mean, a
Vikings slow to get up, jog off the field.
Stephen Weatherly. Hey, all the way back to the first quarter, just quickly, Sam Bradford was sacked a couple of times. Did that bug you?
It did. You know, you see Remmers get beat on a regular pass rush, kind of like what we saw last year out of Clemmings. The second one, not so much, as you'd like to see the rookie Dalvin Cook block a little bit longer on that play fake, but still inexcusable for the Vikings to get 2 sacks in his first 3 series.
Peterman springs to a first down. You mentioned rookie Dalvin Cook. He made his National Football League debut this evening. 5 runs, 13 yards, 4 catches for 30 yards. While Dalvin Cook, a rookie from Florida State, taken in the second round, celebrating his 22nd birthday tonight. We have another birthday that we forgot to congratulate our friend Brian Harper, celebrating his birthday this evening. Brian is the broadcast, along with entertainment, content, and Game of Thrones leader for the Vikings Entertainment Network. Brian Harper, happy birthday, Dalvin Cook.
A big day for the Vikings with that. Too much time for what? Well, Nathan Peterman in the pocket. The son of a preacher man having way too much time in the pocket. The survey the defense pulls it down and moves the chains. But yeah, Dalvin Cook, happy birthday to him, and I think he did a very nice job. He's used in a lot of different aspects of this offense. So,
nearly hit and pulled in. Gain of 4. 2nd and 6. Vikings lead 17-3. Here's the receiver bobbling it. It is Walter Powell, a third-year receiver from Murray State.
Thrown behind him, Powell tries to get those hands around it. Those are the balls that get picked off when they get thrown behind the receiver and they don't catch him on the first try.
Peterman under center, hands it off to Johnson, and Johnson heads to the right side, hit at the 11, falls ahead to the 10-yard line. That'll be a gain of 3, making it 3rd and 3 with 11:20 counting to go in the game. 17-3 Vikings. As a couple of rookies chat on Fox 9. Dalvin Cook with his debut this evening. Rodney Adams has the touchdown. There's TJ Clemmings walking behind them. TJ played a lot of left guard this evening. He also was the left guard for CJ Ham's touchdown run and a 24-yard connection from Case Keenum to Stacy Coley. 3rd down. Peterman out of the shotgun. Looks left. Fires. By Anthony Harris, 3rd-year safety from Virginia. And after all that, it'll be 1st and goal for the Buffalo Bills.
Survey the field, and it's kind of a slant with a trail behind it. Harris coming up and delivering a big hit. Now, years ago, that could have been a knockout shot, but with the rules changes and everything else, and just a blow to the midsection of the tight end.
1st and goal, Buffalo trailing by a couple of TDs. For a Buffalo Bills touchdown. The first touchdown this evening for the Buffalo Bills. It goes from Nathan Peterman to Desmond Lewis. Desmond Lewis with the touchdown reception, 2nd-year Central Arkansas. No, it's on Terrell Sinkfield from Hopkins.
Now just got him in space. Ran him to the corner, and nice throw by Peterman. That's what you do. You just loft that thing to the pylon in the back of the end zone, so only the receiver can catch it, and he got behind Sinkfield. So one-on-one on the outside, that's the only other option they have throwing the ball. The Bills finally put together a touchdown drive.
Every touchdown is reviewed, thus the minor delay right now. Once they see that everything was status quo with Lewis. Now the extra point try. This is Austin Rico, an undrafted rookie from Idaho. 17-9 Vikings, snap spot. And the extra point is 17-10 Minnesota. It's Minnesota Vikings football. Welcome back to Minnesota Vikings football on the Vikings Entertainment Network. What's going on, Twin Cities and everybody else? My Fox 9. The Paul Allen, statistician Mike Wobschall from Vikings.com. And And our leader, Brian Harper, celebrating his 43rd birthday. What more do you want than to celebrate a birthday in Buffalo? Absolutely spectacular. I can tell you what he wants. He wants a Vikings victory. So let's go get it. Statistician Bobby, he's the road game statistician for the Vikings Radio Network, tells us the Bills just went 13 plays, 79 yards, took 601. Lewis with a 1-yard touchdown reception, and it is 17-10. Vikings leading the Buffalo Bills. Here comes Rodney Adams to the right side, sprinting across the 25 to the 30, and that's where the Vikings will start as we kick it down to the sidelines. Ben Lieber.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. I got the man here with 10 or more sacks the last 3 seasons, and Everson Griffin. You know, you had a sack tonight. You almost had a second sack tonight. How'd you feel out there?
I feel good. You know, it's the first preseason game. You know, get your feet underneath you. You know, pay attention to the details and try to go out there and just, first and foremost, is do your assignment and get to the ball and run an effort.
So recently you signed a 4-year extension, and you said, I'm a Viking for life. How's that feel?
It feels good, man. You know, I got drafted here in 2010, 4th round, and I've been working my way up the ladder, and, you know, and they put a lot of faith in me. We're giving my second, now they're giving my third. You know, it just shows me that I just got to go out there and help this team win the championship. That's my goal.
There's been a lot of faith in this defense. You've also locked up Xavier Rhodes and Linval Joseph with contract extensions as well. What's it mean that the team is investing in the core of its defense?
You know, I think that's the most important part. You know, you like the guy that means a lot to the organization, and they see that. Guys that go out there and they're going to be warriors for the team and lead the team in the right direction on and off the field, you know, and that's what we do. And, you know, it's exciting to have them guys locked up and, you know, and be Vikings for life with Xavier and, you know, Linval too as well.
Last year you guys were dominant on defense.
Swarming to the ball. You know, football is not that complicated. They just do the little details of the football game.
All right, guys, you got to hear it. It's not that complicated. Back to you.
Well, Taylor Heineke just made it complicated. He threw the ball to the wrong team. A guy named Joe Powell, a first-year safety from something called Globe. With this, Peter,
well, when you get in that situation as a quarterback, you've got to live to play another down. It's second down. Throw it away. You're out of the pocket. Do not force something. So as soon as he threw it, I think you knew it was a mistake, and now you're giving the Bills a chance to tie this thing up from the 30-yard line.
Or at least 20% of it, which is still here, excited with the Bills threatening, but the Vikings lead 17-10. There's the ever-gregarious Everson Griffin. You know, Daniil Hunter had 12.5 sacks last year. Everson had 8. That is a formidable pass-rushing duo, Peter.
It is. I mean, you saw a lot of that tonight. I think both the defensive position group. The defensive line played very, very well. Without Brian Robinson coming out, they still played very well as a group, but the linebackers were solid. Corners, coverage, one playing man-to-man, very good. Some of the blitzes were a little off, and, kind of going, like Zimmer said, maybe some bad angles, but give up 3 points in the first half of a football game is pretty good for the first and second team defense.
Odinabo, the rookie from Northwestern, left defensive end. Tayshawn Bauer, fellow rookie, right defensive end. Peterman passes right, and the ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage, I believe, by Tayshawn Bauer, 64. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Take a look at Peterman. He'll look left, and there's Bauer, that undrafted defensive end from LSU who has a sack this evening. But when you see him without his uniform on, he's a very big, thick individual.
Oh, he is. And I like those free agents and some of those late-round guys that come from good programs, guys who have played on great defenses in college.
2nd and 10, Peterman back to pass, looks left. No, it's not. Looked like it was caught, but it was not. Terrell Sinkfield on the coverage. So now it'll be 3rd and 10 from the Vikings 17. 8:05 to go in the game. You know, Buffalo happens to score a touchdown here and hits the extra point. We'll be tied at 17. If nothing changes in regulation,
Your favorite, overtime, preseason overtime.
Yes, and it was, as one of the rule changes, it's been shortened to 10 minutes instead of the normal 15. So, let me go look at a couple of rule changes. We saw the replay change. Maybe we'll get an overtime change.
Swatted away by Eric Wilson. Undrafted linebacker. Sweet on the drop for number 50. Tipped it away, and now it's 4th and 10, Eric Wilson.
Great job, Eric Wilson. Just sneaking on the back, staying off, trying to get the play. That's the second ball that he's had his hands on. Should have had an interception earlier. This one was just a great play to fill the empty zone, get underneath the receiver, and make a play. And that's what you want out of a linebacker sometimes, is just to have a feel for coverage, finding receivers coming through open gaps and getting in them.
New coach Sean McDermott going for it, 4th and 10 from the Vikings 17. 8 minutes to go in the game. Minnesota leads 17-10. Two receivers right, one left. Peterman, the rookie, at the ball. And McDermott probably wants to send him back to Oakland. The Vikings have turned over the Buffalo Bills 8 downs. 17-10 Minnesota on the Minnesota Vikings Entertainment Network. Welcome back to Vikings football on the Vikings Entertainment Network. 7:51 to go in the 4th quarter.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, how'd that dog get in the building?
I don't know.
What a beautiful
Cocker Spaniel.
What a beautiful Cocker Spaniel, though.
Got the right scarf on him, at least.
You see him out?
Get him all groomed up, get him on TV.
Vikings fans are very crafty. They're able to somehow smuggle a pooch into a football game on a non-Dogs at New Era Field night.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, he's a working dog, right? That's what I said. Everson Griffin still, this is one of the things you love about Everson Griffin. He's always on the sidelines. He's always talking to the young guys. He's always been this way. And it's one of the things that Zimmer, I think when Zimmer got here, he really put this in motion and really challenged Everson Griffin. Got him in a system, I think, that fit his skills and his abilities. Andre Patterson comes in, they click, and it's been kind of history ever since.
Heineke under center on 2nd down. Hands it off to Newby. And Newby falls ahead for a short gain, 3rd and 6, 7 minutes to go. You know, the Buffalo Bills defense is coordinated by Leslie Frazier, former head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. He was the defensive coordinator with the Vikings from 2007 to 2010. Head coach here, really middle of 2010 through 2013. Here's Leslie Frazier, 18-29-1 as a head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, 0-1 in the postseason. And he's in his first year coordinating the Buffalo Bills defense. Got to go to Hardcore Football 101, but they are switching from a 3-4 to a 4-3. Switched from a quarterback to some type of doll that got battered because he got smacked at the 10-yard line.
Now, Paul, a series ago, you make a mistake, you get out of the pocket, you throw the interception. He gets out of the pocket. This time he doesn't throw the interception, but when you're under that kind of duress, just get rid of the football. You're not going to, there's no grounding. You can get outside if you're outside the tackle box.
I'm still trying to figure out how that dog got in the building.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Working dog. He's a working dog, I don't know.
Wiggly to punt. McDermott with the snap. Wiggly, the former Cardinal and Jet, with a very high punt. Retrieved at the 36-yard line. Flag on the play. Another flag on the play. Eric Wilson nearly had an interception. Good pass breakup. He, along with other members of the Mike Prefer-led coverage team in the fray. Terry McCauley.
During return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 45. 10-yard penalty. First down. Timeout.
The Nathan Peterman-led Buffalo Bills have another opportunity to dog the Minnesota Vikings with a touchdown drive. 17-10 Vikings on the Vikings Entertainment Network. Minnesota Vikings football on the Vikings Entertainment Network. Pete Bursich, Paul Allen, Ben Lieber, Greg Coleman.
17-10 Minnesota, first preseason game. There is the first half of the regular season schedule. September 11th, Monday Night Football against Adrian Peterson and the New Orleans Saints, US Bank Stadium. 3 of the first 4 at home. Then we go to the Bears for game number 5. This is a Monday Night Football game. Tayshaun Bauer runs down the tailback. It'll be second down for the Bills, trailing by a touchdown. The second half of the schedule, FedEx Field, Jared Goff, US Bank Stadium. Ooh, Peter, then 3 in a row on the road. Lions, Falcons, and Panthers, oh my.
A couple trips down in the Southeast in December, but Falcons with the new stadium, then getting back down and get the Krispy Kreme donut specials with the Carolina, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Couple of receivers left, one right, 4:57 and counting to go in the game. Nathan Peterman back to pass. It out to the left. It's caught at the 41-yard line, just a little bit shy of the first down. That is Shorts on the reception. Da'Keil Shorts, drafted from West Virginia, on former Hopkins high school standout Terrell Sinkfield.
Well, when you have a quarterback who's smaller in stature like Peterman, you want to make sure the defensive linemen stay in their lanes and don't give the quarterback any alleys to see through. They've been successful in doing that lately, but Peterman's making the best of it.
3rd and 1. Peterman boots out to the right, sprints away from Will Sutton, and trots out of bounds after a gain of 5. And a Buffalo Bills first down. Will Sutton, former member of the Chicago Bears 3-4 defense. He's number 90. He was a stud at Arizona State University. I think he had like 12.5 sacks in his final year. Drafted by the Bears. Vic Fangio, the coordinator, plays a 3-4 defense, so they had Sutton put on weight, and he just wasn't the same guy. So didn't fit in, ends up with the Vikings in the 4-3, working with, maybe the best defensive line coach in the NFL, Andre Patterson. And Sutton, he's part of a very, very deep, not only defensive line, but tackle situation. You got Linval Joseph, Tom Johnson, Shamar Stephen, got Dayton Jones, miscast a little bit with the Green Bay Packers, Jaleel Johnson, a 4th-round rookie, and Will Sutton trying to crack that whole thing.
Yeah, you're right, and I think Jaleel Johnson showed a little bit tonight. He had a penalty, but he had a sack. He's been getting in the backfield. I think for a big guy, he has really good feet and able to move the pile. You don't see guys that are 300-plus pounds able to move their feet the way that he does, and been very active tonight. And he might have another year or 2 to develop, but another potentially good interior defensive lineman.
Jordan Johnson, the tailback for the Buffalo Bills, undrafted rookie from Buffalo. Played for he went from the Bulls to the Bills. 3:45 and counting to go in the game. 17-10 Vikings. The Bills have the ball on 3rd down. Peterman throws it behind the intended receiver, and it's incomplete. On the coverage for the Vikings, Sam Brown, undrafted from Missouri Western in the most recent draft. Wears number 31. If Mr. McDermott went for it 4th and 10 down by the red zone, of course he'll go for it here 4th and 4 from the Vikings 49-yard line. Nathan Peterman, rookie quarterback from Pitt, he'll go out of the shotgun. Stephen Weatherly, along with Jaleel Johnson, Tayshaun Bauer, part of the defensive line. Peterman takes the snap, fade out to the right, after pass, and the Vikings have turned over the Bills on downs once again with 3:31 to go in the contest.
Defense coming up and holding them off and giving them enough mix-ups in coverage, giving them a little bit of showing some blitz. But I think with this 3rd team, Peterman's giving them some fits just in his ability to move. And I mean, when you look at this whole Bills offense, especially with Tyrod Taylor, that's what he does. His ability to scramble, to run. He had over 500 yards rushing last year. So that's the way this Bills offense operates. They need a mobile quarterback, and I think so far for them, Nathan Peterman fits that mold as the number 3 guy. Give him some time.
Newby, the tailback, I formation behind Heineke, handoff to Newby, and he'll grind his way for a few yards, making it 2nd down. Ben Lieber, former linebacker for the Vikings, rejoining us via the sidelines. Ben and Dalvin Cook this evening, your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought he played decently well. He got tons of opportunities running the football and a lot of screen passes and little flares. So showing what he can do in the pass game as well. I got to give credit to this Bills front defensive line for the first team. They were really, really good. Very powerful group, explosive group, and I think that's the reason why you didn't see a lot more bigger runs from Dalvin Cook.
Second down, 2nd and 9, deep in the first preseason game from New Era Field. 17-10 Vikings. Tight end Carter goes in motion, handoff left. Third and relatively short. Timeout Buffalo. Leslie Frazier's defense with a timeout trying to win this thing. Pat Shurmur. He's on a screen now to the right of Mike Zimmer. Pat Shurmur, in his first full season as offensive coordinator, Ben, for the Vikings, how do you think the defense will look compared to the Norv Turner-led offense that is last year?
Well, I think we're going to see just a wider variety of plays. You know, it sounds like they've been experimenting more on, you know, rolling the quarterbacks out, kind of giving them different platforms to throw off of. And you know what? That actually helps the offensive line because now you actually have angles to block the defensive lineman, getting the quarterback outside the pocket. It does cut off half the field, but allows you to assess and buy more time. So I think you're going to start seeing a little bit more of that with Sam Bradford. And then as we've watched in practice and training camp, they're able to hit the deep shots as well. This is not just a dink and dunk offense. They can actually throw the ball deep, and they've been executing pretty well.
And Ben, with Bradford last year, his yards per attempt was not great. Heineke sprints out to the right, throws it away. You know, he set the NFL record completion percentage of 71. In the equation with what Sam was facing last year, Ben, overall, what did you think of the season?
I thought he played great. And, you know, you bring up a good point, and I think that's where stats can kind of be misleading. And, you know, they had to really protect him and do a lot of short game, a lot of three-step. Everybody knows it's well chronicled. This offensive line was hampered by injuries, guys playing out of position. They did not play very well. They did not protect the quarterback very well. So to do that and to mitigate that, it's a lot of quick game, a lot of quick passes. So I think they're looking to make the offense more dynamic this year, but that starts with the offensive line.
Taylor Semenk with an end-over-end punt. Fair catch at the 9-yard line. 2:24 to go in the game. You know, with Sam, he threw for 3,877 yards last year. Ben, you know, the Vikings have only had 3 quarterbacks in the last 22 years pass for 4,000 yards or more. Brett Favre in 09, Dante Culpepper in 04, along with Warren Moon in 95. This may seem like a stupid question, but is it a good thing if Bradford soars past the 4,000-yard mark?
Is it a good thing that he does what?
If he throws for well over 4,000 yards, because what I'm getting at is maybe then the running game is not as good as we think it will be.
Well, I mean, I think it's great whenever a quarterback can throw for over 4,000. But the thing is, you can't just be one-dimensional. And you know, I know that the word balance gets used a lot when it comes to offense. And when you're talking balance, it's not necessarily a 50-50 balance. It's just enough to kind of keep the defense honest. And you know, if you're going to throw for over 4,000, then you know, you're not going to rush for over, you know, 2,000, 3,000. Yeah. So just to find something to complement the passing game is all they're looking for. And they were close to making the playoffs last year with just that offense that we talked about. A little anemic in the run game. You only have to get just a little bit better. And I think this is definitely a playoff caliber offense.
Yeah, what I'm getting at is he went for 38.77 last year, but the team ran for 3.2 yards per carry. So I'm saying if that rushing average gets up dramatically, but his yardage maybe comes back a little bit, but it's more explosive, maybe from a balance standpoint, that would be good. Thanks a lot, Ben. 2-minute warning here at New Era Field. Momentarily, yes, 2-minute penalty flag first.
False start, offense, number 60.
2-minute warning.
5-yard penalty, second down. This is the 2-minute warning.
My man, 17-10 Vikings touchdown tonight from C.J. Ham and Rodney Adams from Taylor Heineke. Maybe it makes Mike Zimmer happy. We'll find out after the game on the Vikings Entertainment Network. Minnesota Vikings football from Orchard Park on the Vikings Entertainment Network. Minnesota leads 17-10. Buffalo has the ball, 2nd and 6 from its own 32-yard line. There are some Vikings fans, some cherubs pulling for their beloved Vikings in Western New York. We haven't had a video confirmation of the Cocker Spaniel in 15 minutes real time. It's humid this evening. Got to make sure main man or girl is Peterman may need a water break after being savaged by several members of the Vikings defense, including right at the end, Pete Bursich. Horace Richardson.
He gets in there late. I mean, you know, Eric Wilson again getting another chance, and there he is.
Somebody give that dog some water.
I only know if that
Look,
was.
it's humid. Cocker Spaniel's panting.
If that was my dog Boomer, he'd be all over the stadium right now.
And the dog has, I mean, just one of the cutest little bands around its neck. It's beautiful. Peterman fires left. Dogged by the Vikings defense. Rel Sinkfield on the coverage. Peterman with a look of discontent on his countenance. And with 1:48 to go, Buffalo has one timeout remaining. Anthony Harris wired for sound this evening. Gave us some good nuggets in the first half. There's Dylan Bradley, number 63, undrafted defensive tackle. This has done some good things in training camp. A rookie from Southern Miss. Here it is, the first preseason game's on the line. Receivers left and right. Peterman back to pass, fires left. Bills first down. The dog, the Bills, shorts, they have life. 16 for 16.
And, hey, a nice throw and catch with Peterman, especially the timing. That was tough for Sinkfield to defend, so just a great throw by the quarterback.
Shorts again. Shorts coming up big for these Bills first down.
Well, here's when the pressure doesn't get there, you get the one-on-ones on the outside, and Sinkfield just a little late on his break, but give credit where credit's due. Peterman standing tall, getting it to the right spot. The Vikings getting some pressure consistently, but when you blitz on the big downs and you don't get there, you know, at least they force the ball short and to the outside. Give Bills credit, they convert.
Here it is, preseason game number 1 on the line. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Peterman on a deep drop. He's flustered. He's hit, and he throws it away. Now Terry McCauley is analyzing the tackle box to see if Peterman was inside of it or outside of it. You can be a judge for yourself.
Well, that knee might have been down.
Look at Tayshawn Bauer.
Well, I think you look at Tayshawn Bauer and Eric Wilson. Eric Wilson, Paul's been a part of a lot of good pass rushes. He's had 2 pass breakups. Almost could have had gone Audie Cole in a bit and had a couple picks in a preseason game.
3rd and 4. Peterman, short drop. Now it's a deep drop. Screen left, incomplete. Mike Zimmer sent a corner blitz deep in the 4th quarter. That corner was Horace Richardson. Mike's like, we ain't going to overtime, all right? I'm 12-1 in preseason games. Look, I ain't going to lose this game. So, Mr. McDermott, you know, we can chat about it at the owners' meeting, but yeah, I'm sending a corner blitz late in the 4th quarter.
Paul, sometimes it's not how you blitz, it's who you blitz, and they've sent Horace Richardson a few times, and Eric Wilson's been getting in there, so if it's not broke, don't fix it. Keep sending those. Just keep sending those to him.
4th and 4 for the Bills. With 1:10 to go in the contest. Over the shoulder of Peterman, and the Minnesota Vikings are 1-0 in the preseason. The Vikings will have defeated the Buffalo Bills 17-10, and Mike Zimmer will improve to 13-1 in preseason games. Let's take a look at this. This is what you call a botched exchange.
That's why you wonder why you walk up the linebackers and get them on top of the center. For things like that to happen, because there's a lot of communication that has to go between the quarterback and the offensive line to pick up the blitzes and the things that you can do out of it. And it drew a bad snap from the Bills. So sometimes the scheme just helps out.
Sam Bradford finishes the night 5 of 7, 35 yards. Case Keenum 11 of 16, 121 yards, including a 24-yard strike to rookie Stacy Coley that led to a C.J. Ham touchdown rush. Taylor Heineke was 3 of 8 for 20 yards and a touchdown. That went to rookie Rodney Adams. Dalvin Cook, statistically the best running back in the history of Florida State University. 5 runs, 13 yards, 4 catches, 30 yards. Terrell Newby averaged 2.2 yards per run. Would have been in perfectly last year. Case Keenum, the veteran backup quarterback, 1 run for 14 yards. Stacy Coley, the 7th-round rookie from Miami, 3 catches, 67 yards. Stephon Diggs only had 1 catch. Who cares? He'll have more in the regular season. Michael Floyd, a couple of catches for 20 yards. Dalvin Cook once again with 4 catches. Jarius Wright had a catch for 9 yards. Rodney Adams, the rookie from South Florida, 2 catches, 12 yards and a touchdown. Case Keenum and Nathan Peterman exchanging bot along with T.J. Yates and Case Keenum. Pete, some final thoughts involving preseason game number 1, a 7-point Minnesota Vikings victory.
Well, it's always nice to win, no question about that. The offense started slowly, Paul. You had a sack given up right away early, a couple penalties, then you get another sack off a play fake. So you just had Remmers getting beat. You had maybe some communication issue with the running back, Dalvin Cook, getting out and getting a block on a play fake. Those things have to end, and they have to end quickly.
Ben Lieber, Seattle is next. What needs to improve for the first-team Vikings offense and/or defense?
Well, I think the reaction of the offensive line really has to be much better. I mean, a lot of speed rushes were getting to the quarterback. I was really happy with the way Case Keenum played, and really the whole second-team offense. But that Vikings run defense, that was an issue last year. Really took you here again today. That's got to get fixed.
Robbie, Vikings.com, thank you very much for your statistical excellence this evening. Brian Harper, your spotting excellence. Happy birthday. Happy 43rd birthday to Brian Harper, our leader of the Vikings Entertainment Network. Everybody at the BEN, thank you very much. Everybody with the Vikings Radio Network, including executive producer Chad Evans, on-site producer Chris Hockey, and Jared Wells, technically guiding the Vikings Radio Network. Thank you very much for your excellence this evening. For Greg Coleman, Ben Lieber, and Pete Bursich, I'm Paul Allen. We'll chat with you next week from Seattle.